Hey guys, your favorite top 10 NHL versus player is back with another video. This time, I'm going to be teaching you guys, or helping you guys, or even helping your AIs be a lot smarter than they already are, which they're not. So we're just going to focus on the AI strategies and settings. This affects all game modes. The only problem is in HUT, uh, the settings are saved, but in other game modes like Versus or EASHL, you have to switch the settings after every game, and it could be, or before every game, and it could be very, very annoying. I kind of gotten used to it just because uh, right before every game, I do the same thing over and over again, and it's kind of like muscle memory, you know? So in single player, if you're trying to switch the settings for your AIs to be smarter, you need to go into the sliders. In the sliders, you can change how your AIs learn, how the AIs on your team are, and whatnot, just so that they can just be a lot smarter. But in Hockey Ultimate Team, for instance, uh, your strategies are saved. So what you want to do is you want to go into the team tab, and then you click on My Team. By My Team, what I meant to say was Manage Lineups. I just had it on My Team and I forgot about it. So over here you have strategies. And so these are the strategies that I've been using for the past few years. There's one change that I've made this year because this year I've been giving up a lot of breakaways. So I need to figure out how do I stop that from happening. And if you don't know my playstyle, the way that I work is my primary form of offense is breakaways. If I can't get breakaways because there's a defender, I try to score off the rush like I showed you in the high quality shots video, where I'm trying to take wristers from about the midpoint in the offensive zone. If I can't get that, then I cycle the puck around and try to get a better scoring chance. And so my offense is complemented with my defense that just stays back the entire time. It doesn't take any chances. I do not want to give up odd man rushes, although I do work pretty well with odd man rushes. And so on defense, if I have two guys back on defense, one of my guys plays aggressive, usually the guy that I'm controlling, and I go for a hit. If I miss the hit, then I play really passive with my second guy, just trying to get a poke check as much as possible. So these are the strategies that I use, I guess just for my strategy. So the forecheck, all of these settings, as you can see, actually have a lot of information. EA's been doing a pretty good job describing what everything is. So hopefully I don't have to go through this to try to explain like what a passive forecheck is. But I have it set to aggressive forecheck. I want my forwards always in the offensive zone trying to cause turnovers. While in the neutral zone, this just describes the arrangement of my players along the blue line. I have it set to 1-4, 4 players on the line, and 1 person being aggressive. And that 1 person's usually the guy that I'm controlling. So this next part, all these ones that involve the 0 to 6, 0 to 10 numbers, I think it's kind of important to have consistency in your strategies. You either want it set all the way down to 0 or all the way up to the highest number. In this case, it's 0 to 6. Because it makes your defense more predictable, and it's kind of, or your AI is more predictable. It's kind of a good thing because, well, as long as you're not like having the AIs do all the work, because I always use my players to do all the defensive work. Or I guess I always do the defensive work myself. But the fact that it makes it more predictable makes it easier for you to know what your AI is going to do, so they don't make the dumbest plays in the world all the time. Sometimes they might. Hopefully you get around that. Either way, so I have it set all the way to 6. That means I'm going more for forecheck than I am for the trap. I want my players to play aggressive, but again, based on these other settings, my defenders will not be playing aggressive. It's just my forwards. The offensive pressure, this is the one that I changed. I used to have it on full attack, because I'm always thinking about offense. Sounds about right. You know, I always want to score goals, even if I'm up 10-0, I still want more goals. And so, with full attack, I was able to just use my one defender to just play defensively and just stop whoever's coming at me. But this year I had to change it to defend lead. Even though, if you're losing, defend lead probably isn't a good name, because then you're defending the other team's lead, and that's just stupid. But defend lead is still good even if you're losing, because if the other person is getting breakaways, this kind of like mitigates how many that they get. Your defense will not take any chances. Players will not take any chances. And so your defense will sit back most of the time. For defensive pressure, I have it set to contain puck. Players will stay between the puck and the net. It sounds about right. Why would your players be anywhere else? Why would they not be near the puck or the net? Defensive strategy. This one's very important. I'll explain this one. Don't worry about staggered defense. While it's a good mix of low and high coverage, as it says, it's better to go full one or the other, which is collapsing. Collapsing focuses on preventing one-timers. And while I haven't seen him too much in this game, it's kind of important to have your players in front of the net pretty often, because they can block a lot of shots. While tight point is for all those players who like to cycle the puck a lot. If they cycle the puck, your players will kind of be ready to intercept any kind of passes that will be made, and so you can change these mid-game while you play. I had to do that quite often against high-end players that do both one-timers and cycle the puck. So the way that you do that, which I might explain in a later video, is you use the D-pad and the B and X buttons, or on the PlayStation, it's circle and square. For the penalty kill, I have it set to large box. Large box basically means you have one person attacking the puck carrier, and your other 3 people just kind of stick around the net, make sure that no passes are getting through. That means that there's usually going to be 2 people that are wide open. Again, the defenders are going to be wide open at the point. But since you have people in front of your net, they'll usually block any kind of shots that come from them. Power play shooting. This one is based on cycling the puck a lot. This slider, PP carry, and dump, I have it set to 0 because I never dump the puck, so why even bother like having anything above 0, I guess. Control breakout, I never do this, but if you ever find yourself behind the net, this is what will pretty much activate. This is how your AIs will react. So, because I never really do that, I don't know which one of these would be best. Blue to blue doesn't sound all that great. I also focus a lot on the long breakout passes. I did forget to mention that. So I'd probably go with 3 high. Just so you can get the pass pretty much across the ice. Power play breakout. very similar to power play carry and dump, but this is how all of your AIs will react. And again, I just like to carry the puck into the offensive zone. Quick breakout. This one's important for my breakaways. I have it set to leave zone early. What this means is my AIs that are in the defensive zone, high up, covering the defenders, they're going to be ready to zoom out of the defensive zone as soon as I get the puck. This one's important because otherwise your AIs just play dumb and just wait for you to pass them the puck, and you don't want that. You want them ready to go out there, so you can either get a breakaway or you can have a breakout play with a lot of time. Like the other team's defender, or actually their forwards, they won't have as much time to catch up to you, and they'll usually be pretty far in the back for you to make a good amount of plays. So because I like predictability, I like to know where my players are all the time. All these forward lines are the same. It's kind of like having a system. Having a system allows you to improve on what you have whenever you make a mistake. I like to analyze whenever like someone scores a goal or something like. Sometimes I make a mistake. I like to analyze and try to figure out what I could have done better. And the only way you can do that is if your AIs act the same every time. So I have it set to crash the net, even though Overload's best suited for skill players, as it says. Overload's mostly for... You have like 2 passing options, while crash the net usually involves 1 passing option if you're in front of the net. Like... All 3 forwards are in front of the net, but you're controlling one of them. So crash the net, you can only pass it to one of them, and overload is 2 of them. It's the way that I see it. And overload, like the players are a little bit more spaced out, and it's very, very hard to get a deflection or a screenshot. And if I cycle it, I like to get those deflections pretty often. So crash the net. As it says, allows for shots using both screens and deflections, and players without the puck crowd the net on the rush. That's perfect. So, if you want to try, you can always go behind the net for all the different goals that I was showing you guys from behind the net, which I guess is just the protect the puck thing, but you can also get some good one-timers by doing a protect the net setup. So similar to the other sliders, like I said before, you have to choose either 0 or 10 on these sliders, otherwise your AIs will be unpredictable. I have it set so that my AIs will know I'm ready to carry. I think this prevents a lot of offsides, because if you have it set to like 1 or 2, AIs will be like, oh, you know, this guy's going to dump the puck, and we're going to go, and then you don't dump the puck and they go offside. It's silly, but 0 is the way to go. I don't think... It's been a while, honestly, since I've seen an offside. That was that didn't have anything to do with the other person. Like that didn't have anything to do with like crashing into the other team, for instance. Because sometimes when your AIs try to get back, they'll crash into other players. That one doesn't count. But just off the breakout and everything, haven't gone offside since NHL 15. For this one, cycle or shoot. This one kind of is tricky. I really don't understand why there's a shoot or a cycle in terms of the AI. Well, actually, I kind of do, but it doesn't matter in Hockey Ultimate Team. But in other game modes, when you're controlling one person, your AIs will try to decide, hey, should I pass the puck until we get a better position, or should I just shoot the puck as often as I can? So that's basically what this is. Efficiency or energy. Efficiency means your players will try try their heart out pretty much anytime they're on the ice. Energy means they won't try as hard so that they could conserve their energy so that when you use them, they'll be more efficient. And so that is, so I have it set to efficiency because I don't really care what happens when I control the players because I'm the one that's in charge. But when I'm not in charge, when the AIs are doing their own thing, I want them to try their hardest out there. Because why not? This last one, even though it's a forward line, I have it set to block. Basically, what happens when I play is if they're in my zone, in the defensive zone, and they take the shot, I swear I see like 3 or 4 fish like just flopping on the ice trying to block a shot from my goalie. And it's amazing because I get so many block shots a game and they hardly ever get a chance to shoot on the net if they're if the defenders are taking the shot through cycling. So again, it's the same for crash the net. Now defensive pairing. This one's also kind of interesting. The second one doesn't matter based on what I said before about cycle and shoot, but the first one does. The first one is about taking risks. Since I went over that I'm giving up a lot of breakaways, I don't want my defense to take any chances and try to pinch by attacking any kind of puck carrier that's coming at them. I want them to just haul ass back to my net whenever the opponent gets the puck so that I can take control of one of them and do what I want. So I have this set to 0, same with the other defensive pairings. And hopefully, by going over these strategies, you guys can see how I play and it can help you out. You're free to tweak any of that as you see fit. That's what I use to make my AI smarter, and I haven't had too much complaints, honestly. So thanks for watching. If you guys are interested in daily NHL content, this is the place for it. Feel free to subscribe, check out some of my other videos, or even share them to your friends to help them out. And hopefully your AIs will be a lot smarter now. Thanks for watching.